Everybody, I'm Felisa, and before I get started on today's vlog topic, I want to make sure that I am clear when I say in this vlog, when I use terms like depression or anxiety or sadness, I am not intending to infer a clinical diagnosis. If you are in a prolonged state of depression, anxiety, tearfulness, etc., and you are not able to bring yourself out of it safely, please reach out and call someone. I will leave a number and a website below for resources. Do not suffer in silence, please. So now, having said that, here we go. So as you guys know, I've been divorced for a very long time. I raised 4 children by myself, and I am certainly accustomed to feeling like I need to take on Superwoman status. However, I'm also convinced and I am assured that this is crazy and insanity for a lot of women to continue to do this. So I want to give you some tidbits on how to take care of yourself so that you do not wind up insane. Or at least you can make your sanity work for you. Anyway, so when my children were small, one of the things that was always so difficult was just shifting gears, coming home from work, picking them up from school, and then it would just be yip, 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 all at one time. And that is just crazy. That just never allows you to have any time to decompress and put that somewhere so that you can meet the needs of your children. So what I devised was I just got a simple kitchen timer from like the dollar store or something. I would put it on the fireplace and I would set it for like 10-15 minutes, and I would tell them, you know, when this goes off, then, you know, I would tell my oldest son, you can come and find me and then we can talk. And then 2 things would either happen. I'd either put on a DVD or at that time a VHS. I put on a video for them, and it would be, you know, one of their favorite cartoons that was about 15 minutes long because their attention span wasn't, you know, all that long when they were little, of course. Or I used to keep what was called a rainy day box, and in that box I would just find little things at a dollar store, coloring books or puzzles or knickknacks or something, and then I would just put it in this box and I would lock it away, and it was kept out of Gen Pop. So they only saw it, you know, at extreme times of crises. So I will bring out this rainy day box and I will tell them, okay, you guys can pick something from here and play with it, but when, you know, when time is up, then it has to go back in there, and then it will go back into the vault, kind of like Disney does with their videos. So it goes into the vault. But that kept it from, you know, kind of losing this novelty, and the kids are always really appreciated and loved and looked forward to being able to go in the rainy day box because they couldn't do it all the time. But it gave me some extra time to either shower or, you know, get some things done on the computer, and I knew that they were occupied and I didn't have to attend them and be their entertainment center all the time. And then the next thing is evaluate the academies, evaluate the committees and the meetings that you attend on a regular basis. Is your presence required at all of that stuff? Does that really make you effective or a good mom or any of those kinds of things? Because you're always there, you're just giving FaceTime. But if you're not effective, then you really can step back and look and say, you know, I don't need to go to every meeting every week. I can go to a meeting every other week or a meeting once a month or whatever. You can't volunteer for every committee. You certainly can't volunteer to be on every board. You need to pick and choose your battles. And so if you're really spreading yourself too thin, then really you don't have any time to devote not only to your family but to yourself. So I would just strongly encourage you to cut some of those things loose. Now, I'm not suggesting by any stretch of the imagination that you don't honor your commitments, but when it's time to renew or, you know, volunteer again, think about the amount of time that you're spending doing these things and if it's beneficial to you and if it's beneficial to your family. If not, cut that stuff out. No, nope. And that brings me to my next thing. Learn the art of saying no. A lot of us, especially women, we feel like, oh gosh, if I really don't, then no, you're burning yourself out. The word no is not a bad word. It's not a dirty word. It is a self-preservation word. It is a word that will guard you and create some boundaries for people and allow you to stop being taken advantage of. The word no is beautiful, and you don't owe anybody any explanation after no. A lot of times I hear people say, no, if I, no, well, I, no, can't, no, just no. No is no. When you put all of that extra explanation in, then the person that you're speaking to thinks that it's up for negotiation. And they have an opportunity to wear you down. And if that's the case, then what did you say no for in the first place? Let your no be no. Just no. If you feel like you want to apologize, ask yourself why. What are you apologizing for? You can't do it. You can't do it. And in a perfect world, even if you could do it, you don't want to do it. And be okay with that. You cannot do everything. You cannot be everywhere. You cannot please everybody. And no, it's a slippery slope to forever. So yeah, again, pick your battles. Use your nose wisely. Know how this is going to affect not just you, but the lives of people that you live with. The next thing is a lot of times, because we don't practice good self-care, and because we experience trauma after trauma, life event after life event, whether it's our finances, our jobs, our education, our children, you know, our extended family, all of the obligations that we have, it just hits us like darts. And trauma is it affects your entire body. And so eventually what happens is that you just start to just really shut down. So you don't feel like you want to be engaged in life the way that you used to. You don't find joy in simple tasks anymore, or simple things anymore. It's just not bringing you any pleasure. And then next thing you know, you don't want to get out of bed. You really don't want to be engaged. You really are isolating, and those are dangerous waters that you're in. So, you know, if you're feeling like that, this is the time for you to unplug and reassess and understand that, you know, a depressive state or having a bout of depression is not the same as being depressed. Two totally separate things. So being depressed can be temporary, it can be, you know, it can be situational, it can be just an experience that you're having, a result of trauma, like a breakup or divorce or a loss of job, life events. There's a whole scale. I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it below if I can, but there's like 100 things that happen during your life that bring stress to your life, like having a baby, losing a child, losing a spouse, getting divorced, losing a job, getting a job. All those kinds of life's events create stress for us. Sometimes it's great stress and sometimes it's terrible stress. But the way that we respond to that and the way that we organize our thinking to that can cause us to go into a depressive state. So like I said at the top of this video, if this state has been prolonged and you're not feeling any better about the situation, you're feeling hopeless and helpless, and grief is taking over, please, please, please reach out and talk to someone. Get some help. Make sure that you're not suffering by yourself. But beyond that, girl, if you really are, if something is compounding your mental state and it's causing you not to be able to sleep at night, and you're all anxiety ridden and you just all turned up and nuts, and every time somebody talks to you, you just lashing out, girl, get your life. Step back, put a pause on it. Take the weekend, get you some videos, get some, you know, some tissues so that you can cry and purge, get some comfort food, and just indulge and shut that stuff down and let it go. Let it go. If you don't have a prayer life, I strongly encourage you to develop one. And because I don't want this just to be limited, I know that there are some people who may watch this channel that don't necessarily have a faith, but just meditation and being able to relax and being able to just purge some of those thoughts that you have and not carrying those, that is critical and that is vital. And it is crucial to your well-being. When we talk about centering, when we talk about bringing ourselves into balance, when we talk about letting our minds be harmonious with our bodies, those are all universal principles. Those are all principles that I think that we all can agree are beneficial for us as human beings. The connectivity that we experience to other people can only come through the connectivity that we have for ourselves. And when you're disjointed and fragmented and discombobulated, you're not a whole person. So how can you connect pieces to someone else? You can't. So it is important for you to bring that back center, have a time where you sit and you reflect. Y'all know I love to journal. So even if it's just having a ritual for yourself where, you know, before bed you get a nice cup of tea, get your journal, sit, reflect, and then just let it flow. And I purge through my pen. However it is that you purge, you need to develop that way to clear your mind so that you can face not only the next day, but that you sleep well. Sometimes when your sleep cycle is off because you're carrying all that stuff and you can't let it go and it just causes you to toss and turn, yeah, you don't want to take that to bed with you. So develop a way that you purge that. Look into some essential oils. I'm a big believer in lavender, chamomile. Chamomile tea is wonderful. There's a linen spray that you can get that's lavender. I have a Himalayan salt lamp in my room, so does my daughter. I find it comforting. I recommend it to people. You know, now I'm not all into the metaphysical benefits of it, but I've heard that people respond very well to it when they have upset and turmoil in their lives. I just like the glow. I find it helpful and soothing, and I sleep like a log. So, you know, those are all things that you can look into that will help you to decompress at night. And then aside from the journaling ritual, you know, take a warm bath. Make sure that, you know, your cellular device or your electronic devices are off in your room so that it's not causing you disturbance. All those kinds of things, preparing your bed so that you can have a good night's sleep. And then give yourself enough time to sleep. I do not function well without enough sleep. I don't know too many people who do. It's not healthy. You compromise not just your mental state, but your physical state. Your immune system is compromised. You're more susceptible to colds, flus, and viruses because your immune system is not working up to par because you haven't gotten adequate rest. So it's all connected. And lastly, I just want to say, make sure you stay connected to your circle. Don't isolate. Don't withdraw just because you're busy. And I know that some of my girlfriends will probably watch this video and be like, girl, are you listening to what you're saying? Because I'm good for like, listen, I'm about to go home and lay down. Because I am an introverted person, believe it or not. And I do like my me time, but it's so important to at least stay connected by phone, by text. Make sure that you have a lifeline. Make sure that you have someone that's outside of yourself who keeps you in checks and balances so that when you become off center, they can be like, yeah, you need to do something about that. You want to go get a drink? Or you can be that person for somebody else. Anyway, again, I'm leaving some resources below. I hope that they'll be helpful for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will catch y'all later on. Bye.